بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Dear students, welcome back after a week break. Actually, I did my best to give you as much time as possible so that you can prepare yourselves for the exams. Today, we are going to have a kind of analysis. We are going to do two things actually. The first thing is the analysis of a text, and the second thing is the a translation of this text. As you know, dear students, we have this text, which is Amman, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Ayman Safadi on Saturday held a meeting with the Canadian Foreign Affairs Melanie Joly uh, over efforts to bring an end to the war on Gaza and alleviate human suffering. Safadi stressed the importance of halting the war on Gaza and the humanitarian catastrophe it caused, underscoring that cutting off food, medicine, and basic necessities to the besieged enclave is a war crime and violation of all humanitarian values, according to a ministry statement. The minister reiterated the need for the international community to intervene to ensure delivery of assistance to Gaza and provide protection to civilians in line with international law and humanitarian values that denounce killing and targeting of civilians. Safadi and Jolie agreed to continue coordination and consultation in efforts to end crisis and ensure the delivery of humanitarian aid. Actually, this is a kind of political media text, right? And this is a kind of statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now we have actually we need to do two things here with this text. The first thing is to analyze it. I mean to provide an analysis for this text. Okay. Now let's start with the analysis of the text here. Let's see the technical aspects of this text. Okay. First, if we look into the text, we have a kind of let's say strengths and weaknesses, right? Uh, that this text has, right? So if we begin with the strengths, right, of this text at the technical, I mean, at the technical aspect or aspects, right, that it contains. Okay, so here we have technical features or aspects, right? So here, okay, uh-huh. The first thing is the strength that this text has. I mean, as first, the text shows a clarity, right? So it's a clear, no ambiguous and vague phrases and conciseness, right? So when we say conciseness, we mean that there is a kind of strong match between the ideas and the formal phrases, right? As it, let's say, as it conveys, let's say, information in an immediate and straightforward forward manner or case or way, right? So this is number one. For example, here we have a kind of um, to bring an end to, for example, efforts over held a meeting with the Canadian over efforts to bring an end to the war on Gaza first and alleviate human suffering. So this is a kind of example on how it can be, let's say, it can be clear and concise as it conveys the information on the story of the text. Also, it conforms to the let's say journalistic, let's say standards, right? Standards. How first it has essential, clear or essential names, uh, places, right? Positions, right? And the purpose of the meeting, right? And the purpose of the meeting, sorry. So actually, we can say that it conforms to the okay. And also another aspect of strength here is that it has or it uses, right? It shows, let's say, direct, let's say, attribution, right? Direct attribution. So, for example, we have according to the, for example, to a ministry of according to ministry, sorry, statement, مثلا, right? So actually, this adds a lot to to the credibility of this text. Okay. At the technical level, maybe we can come up with some weaknesses. Let's say weaknesses for this text, right? So we had here strengths, right? And now we move to weaknesses, right? To weaknesses, okay, of this text. So uh, maybe we can say that this text doesn't show any background information, okay, on background information. For example, let's say it lacks or it doesn't, right? It doesn't show, for example, any background context, right? In terms of in terms of the timeline, مثلا, right? And the key actors in the scene, let's say, right? In the scene. So there is a kind of assumption that the reader knows everything. So here we need actually to enhance this type of background, which is necessary at this moment because maybe we cannot clearly support this idea because we say that okay, it is this article is published or delivered in the time of the Gaza war or war on Gaza, right? For example, we have war crime and violation of all humanitarian values. So here, war crime, right? War crime here, right? So here we have war crime, okay? War crime, and here, war crime and violation of all humanitarian values. Actually, let's copy this here. This maybe, if looked at from a kind of a neutral perspective, it would be described as a kind of strong phrase, right? A kind of strong phrase. So we say that the phrase, let's say, right? The phrase is sometimes looked at or is sometimes considered, for example, as a strong phrase, but this is from a kind of a neutral perspective, right? Right? And lacks, let's say, between two parentheses, evidence. I mean, lacks evidence in the text itself. This is what we mean, itself. But we believe that this is a crime, right? And we all should fight for this issue, which is the crime. It is a crime, right? We, as Arabs, as right, believe, as Muslims, believe that it is a crime. Okay. Now let's move to this is a kind of technical features. Let's move to the style features, right? The style features, right? So style features here, we talk about style. We talk about how the text is interconnected, how the text has cohesion, coherence, right, and so on and so forth. So let's begin with, let's say, strength, right? So the strengths it has, right? Okay, we have a kind of let's say a diplomatic tone, right? So we have diplomatic tone, right? So this text contains or consists of a diplomatic tone, which let's say is a kind which adheres to which it adheres to the formal text features, let's say, right? And also adheres, and also it aligns with the, let's say, political, right, reporting traditions, right, or protocols, right, protocols. So this can be a kind of a structure at the structural level. We say we have clear structure, right? I mean there is no ambiguity or vagueness, right? And no, let's say, complex and misleading phrasing or phrasing. Okay, so this actually a kind of even the okay phrasing. So okay, and at the level of structure, we have the passive, for example. The passive voice here is is let's say is properly used in the text, right? In the text. For example, when we say okay, here, right? Okay, so here, so we say according to Ministry of Statement, right? Also, we have uh, marionette. Okay, so uh, sorry for the interruption. Maybe there is a kind of problem in the internet connection. So here, the use of according to a ministry statement to here it maintains the objective, right? So here, okay, so as it maintains, right, the let's say the objective journalistic, right? Journalistic tone, right? Uh, maybe, uh, okay, okay. So here we have also the weaknesses maybe that this text has, right? The weaknesses, right? This text has, okay. Uh, First, maybe there's a kind of repetitive phrasing, right? Repetitive phrasing, uh, like, for example, uh, we have the phrase international law, right? International law, okay, and humanitarian, maybe humanitarian values, right? So which appears twice, right? Appears twice in the text, right? Which appears twice in the text. So maybe we can say that it can mark a kind of a repetition, or always can be a weakness area. Maybe for example, in the phrase here, Safadi stressed here, here in the phrase, Safadi stressed the importance of halting the war here, maybe. If we look into this, I just copy, for example, in the something went wrong. Okay. The phrase Safadi strength, maybe we can replace it with, for example, we can, in the phrase, we can replace, for example, the verb with more political ones, like such as مثلا urged, right? Urged or right. So here maybe we can replace the verb stressed with with verbs like called for, right? And or urged. Okay. So this a kind of so here we have now we have uh, technical in general. Okay, we have technical aspects, right? I think, and we have here style features or aspects. Okay, strengths and weaknesses. And here, maybe we can have, let's say, structural, if you like, structural features or aspects, right? So here, okay, so we have here, okay, yes, maybe if we look into structural just quickly, we have also strengths, right? Strengths, for example, we have, there is a kind of logical, right? Logical, there is a kind of, the text follows a logical flow which starts with a meeting, moving into key discussion points, and concluding with the future commitments. So we have a kind of logical flow of the text. Okay, so it begins with, for example, meeting, right? Then moving to discussion, and finally with concluding, for example, and concluding. So this this can add or uh, this can strengthen the structural aspects of the text itself. Okay, so for example, okay, maybe also the paragraph division ensures readability. uh, um, Ideas, let's say, ideas are ideas are contained, let's say, right? Ideas, so they are readable as they contain the main aspects of logically let's say self-contained structures, for example, right? So this maybe can add to weaknesses, maybe, right? Weaknesses here, maybe I don't think there are a kind of serious ones, but for example, when we have in the conclusion, for example, if we look into the conclusion here, when we say that Safadi and Jolie agreed to continue coordination and construction, blah blah blah, in efforts to كذا كذا, lacks specificity. يعني بمعنى إنه it is general. It it makes this a kind of structure as a kind of generic or general, right? So maybe uh, it can be more specific if we, for example, mention what the next steps are, right? So here, So, for example, in the phrase or in the sentence, right? In the sentence, uh, in the sentence here, كنت كذا كذا here, let's say, etc. Okay, maybe we can look at this. We said that in the sentence, right? Safadi and Jolie agreed to continue coordination and consultation. Uh, there maybe is no, there is no specific, let's say, meaning, and the conclusion, the conclusion, the conclusion needs more information to be added to it, right? To be added to it. Okay, maybe this can be a kind of weakness that should be avoided. That should be avoided. Okay. So this is number one. Maybe I don't know whether or not this is necessary, but I think more, maybe not more, but maybe quotations are needed. This maybe is taken from the academic articles because so that the article becomes more readable, let's say, readable, credible, right, and authentic, right? So maybe we can say that such aspects are needed in this regard. In general, we can say that the text in general is able to deliver the key diplomatic information clearly. It could benefit from added context, stronger phrasing or phrases, and more concrete details to enhance its impact and persuasiveness. Okay, so this is a general critique for the this article. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.